Well, hello and happy Friday. Woo, 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 woo. Everybody looks forward to Friday because Friday is the start of our weekend. And it's just a nice break in the regular routine schedule, right? So why not sit and make cards? That's a fun thing to do. So I'm catching up. So I've had some of this card designed back when I was doing the playful pop up. So I had started back in January and I did this one first. A little thank you so much with the fun playful pop up here. And then the next week we did the meow and we did um, adding the cat. Oh gosh, my hat got damaged. I just took it off display out of the store and my hat's not moving very well. That'll fix. You know when I wanted to add a banner and we added the banner. So that was the second one. That's moving. Okay. So then I thought, okay, well, let's double her up. Let's add two of them. So I did this and see, it's not even finished. Not even finished. But we went ahead and put some of the pieces together and gonna make this card. So I've already did the basic here. So I just did the wallpapering of the card. And this one here is A2 card, and I did it out of the heavier weight cardstock. I just love that solid base. And you know me, I like to do a front and back. And then I've already put one of the mechanisms together. So I thought I'd walk through putting this mechanism together. And this is the K mechanism. And it's got four score lines. Oh, no, sorry. 1, 2, 3. Three score lines going down horizontally with Mr. Smiley Face right here. So this right here in this break, I know it's super hard to see those score lines, but if I kind of tilt it, you can see there's they are. Score line, score line, score line. And then this one, this kind of lines up with the K right there and the K right there. And this one here has an angle fold to get that twist action going. So these are all going to be mountain folds. So we're going to I like to put it in my fingernail in there and get the fold going and then break it into, gosh, that's not even straight. Let's see. Maybe go all the way folded. Pinch and then make that a mountain. Reverse it to a mountain. And then there's one more right here, and that one has the triangular folds in it. So there's the angle one here, and then an angle one on this side. And then once we have, I'm going to try to do it. See if I can make it go this way. Once we have those angles done, then we can go ahead and push that down so they collapse inside each other. Those two triangles coming together. So hard because you have that tiny little tab over here. Does that fold go all the way to the edge? Let's see, then it breaks down that little triangle edge fold there. All right. So now to complete our little mechanism, we're going to put a little bit of glue on the side of the triangle where the K is attached. So just that one triangle section right there where the K is attached, that's going to get your adhesive. And we'll go ahead and fold that right onto itself. And then we'll put a little clip and let that guy dry. All right, so then our second part of the mechanism has this tab where Mr. Smiley is. There's a score line going across from here to here. And we'll go ahead and break that score line. as I try to get it to go towards me first, and then reverse it and go to the back. And that's the one tab there. Now on this other side, we have a tab just on the other side of these little arms. You can see the tapered part of the tab, and there's a score line right in there, and just so much easier to get that score line started by coming towards the score line first and then reversing it, because it is also a mountain fold, which means folding away from you. All right, then right on the other side of the arms, there's another score line, and we're going to hit that one, and I'm gonna just push it towards myself, get those little fibers in the paper broken up, so that way when I fold it back as a mount fold, it will go smoothly. All right, now there are angle folds on these sides here. So I'm going to get my fingernail in that score line and break that down a little bit and fold it this way. And it pretty much lines up pretty straight along the side here once you've got it folded. And then you could go ahead and reverse that fold and go the other direction. And we'll do the same on the other side. Just gotta do a back and forth fold. And then go back again the other way. And now this one is ready to go. So when we open it all up, we could push those triangles in. And then those arms will fold up right like a little turtle. The little arms go right in there. And that's how, when this thing gets lined up on the fold of your card, that's how these arms are going to swing, and you're going to get some fun movement with those two pieces. All right, now back to Mr. Smiley tab right here. You see that cute smile? Karen thinks of everything. So we're going to take and make sure the good side of the smile is, let me get this all, yeah, this tab, okay. Make sure our this thing goes in the triangle. So when it's all scrunched down, we have just that little triangle right here. See that triangle there? And then the K now is at the top, and we got Mr. Smiley down here on the bottom. We got to make sure we get the pretty side of Smiley. And then we got to get pretty side of Smiley. The pretty side is the side where the die cut into it, so it's more crisp. If you look on the back side, it's not as crisp. So you want the pretty side, and both sides need to be pretty on Mr. Smiley here. And then we'll put tab on the back side of Smiley. On the tab here, we'll put some our adhesive. And then on this side, there's some little slight indentation on both sides of that tab. Can you see? That's just not quite a straight line there. This is just big enough for this tab to fit in. And you're going to line up Smiley on top of Smiley. Oh, look there. And now they're connected. All right. So now to connect the back part, we have to keep that box all scrunched down so it will open up, but we want to scrunch it all down so we just have that top triangle at the top, and that's where we're going to put the adhesive, is on that top layered triangle right there. It's probably even easier to see the triangle when I get the glue on it. Now where we're going to fold it to attach it is right here on the top of Smiley. So he's going to keep this all folded down, fold it right at Smiley, and you're going to see this wider arm is going to be right there at the where the curve is. I'm going to let that dry a bit. Okay, now it might have been easier for us if I had put this on first, but I don't think it truly matters. But as long as I'm going to put it on before I put the arm in. We want to make sure that the slits right here line up. So these curved slits line up. And when you've lined up that slit, you'll find out that Karen has designed that to magically leave a little border all the way around. So it's really pretty easy. So I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive on this decorative piece of the die set. Then I'm going to work on, now that you're going to have some wiggle time with this glue. So you're going to get that kind of centered on there and check your slit. Make sure it's all lined up and it just goes on super smooth. Then, see now this part, see how it's going to swing that K-arm. It's going to, when it's folding, it's going to swing right through there. But we need to get this piece in the slit. So just slightly tuck it in the slit. And now we have a moving mechanism. That's such a fun movement. I love it. Love, love, love it. All right, so now putting this in our card, we're going to double stack it. So we're going to put one up kind of high. And I'm going to fold all this up. And I'm going to lay this down. So you now see Mr. Smiley right there. And we're going to put adhesive on this part of the tab. And we're going to close it so that it will end up being glued to the opposite side. So I'll make sure we get it right lined up to that tab there. Right up to the fold. And doing it in the air is probably not always the smartest, but I want to get right up to that fold line. And I'm going to let that dry for a second, and I'm going to try to be patient. So I've got a ton of party hats here, and these party hats come from Karen's charm set. I think it's even like her very first charm set. And it comes with all the party, it's the party charms, I think, birthday charms. I think it's called birthday charms, yeah. And I think it's like one of her first charm sets. I like this one here, on that first charm set, the holes are within the design, which is fine. It's great. But I like it that she's now doing them so they're attached and you could cut them off if you want to cut them off. So I like that feature. And this one here, it's just, doesn't matter if there's a hole in it. It still looks like a really cute party hat. Now, if you leave the punch poop or the punch remaining part in the hole of this charm, when you cut out more of them, it will kind of block it so it doesn't cut it all the way through, and you could get it more of a solid look too. So let's see, another hat here. We got just tons of hats. I've got so many hats here. We're celebrating. Everybody's like, we could make this all graduation hats too, and it could be like hats off, you know, like all the graduation hats. That would be another cute card. Doing this playful pop-up where I have party hats in this inside, put graduation hats, and then you know how like all of them throw their hat up at the end. That would be a good replication of that. That would be cool. Oh gosh. Think it. Well, it's gonna look like a little shadow because it's stuck. It's stuck on there. All right, let's add top part on this. All right, so I was hoping to get all the party hats glued together before I went live, unfortunately. Several of my children were calling and needed help with things. All right, so we have a couple party hats. Let's check our mechanism now and see where we are. All right, so now you can see it's glued freely to the other side, which is what we wanted it to do. Now we're going to keep it all folded like the turtle, all folded up tight, nice and closed. And then we're going to put adhesive right here on this tab here. And shut it up. And we'll let it dry again. While we put together a couple more party hats. We just have a few. I don't even know how I did them all. So I think it doesn't matter. We'll just pick a hat and put some toppers on it. All right, got a yellow striped hat here, and we'll put this little pink bottom on it. See if I can get it to line up straight this time. Perfect. Nailed it. And then we'll go ahead and add a little top on this, stop on this, on top of it, a little topper. And there's another party hat. I don't think we can go wrong with these party hats. There's another one here. And this is kind of fun. This is like a blowhorn, I think, in the printed paper, but it made sure cute design on the party hat. I love when you can make the paper do the work for you. I'll go ahead and give it a nice, pretty yellow border to match that yellow design on there. And add a top. Make the top match. All right, let's check on our pop-up and see what's happening with it. Should be dry enough. Okay, here we are. Thanks, Dallas. Okay, so when we're opening this up, I kind of like to get my hand in there and do a little push, because this becomes quite a weak spot right here. It has a lot of pull right there. So if we get this first moving, look at all the fun movement we have here. Isn't that super fun? But remember, we're going to double it up. So now we're going to take our second one, and let's get it all closed up. So we have the smiley tap, and the new fold of our card is now this part. So it's not the center. We're going to use this as part of the fold. So we're going to line it up, and as the fold here, we're still going to put glue on our smiley tab. Let me get that up here. Smiley tab here. And I'm going to put it right next to our new fold that we have from the pop-up. Get that right in there. And they're kind of staggered. And we're going to go ahead and give it another close. And let that dry for 2 seconds while I make a couple more party hats. Of course, gotta make more party hats. Look at this one. This was an interesting part of the paper that it looks like it's two-tone. And I don't even remember what part of the paper it was that I used, but it sure is cute, I think. We can add this little pink bottom to it. There we go. And then let's go ahead and I'm going to turn these all over so I see let's see what colors we're working with here. All kinds of ones. That's the right. The red one. And we got a blue one here. I thought we'd have a teal one. Let's see. This hat's done. This hat's done. I'm not seeing a teal one, so let's pick what's on the other side of this one. Let's see. Looking for my pickup tool because I have a hard time picking things up. Oh, here it is. Yep, that's not teal either. Just checking both sides. Yep. Well, that's okay. I got a stripe one. I'm just trying to match these up, which let's decide here what colors we could pick. We have that fun hat. It's on the bottom. This is another yellow border. We could do yellow and orange. That would be kind of cool. Put that with that. And we have a teal one. I could pick up the dark blue stripe here with this one. It's kind of a fun one. And which one should we do the red? Maybe the red. On this. And then we have maybe a pinkish color on that one. And then this is what we got for that one. All right, we'll get them all glued together. Let's see what, oh wait, this one's missing a base here. All right, I think we've got them all there. Okay, now let's open this up and see what we got going on. All right, so when we open it up, that is moving perfectly. This one flips over. Didn't quite get that quite in the crack there, but I think we're gonna be okay. So I'm gonna keep my little turtle all tucked in, and we're gonna put adhesive. Oh, I did it backwards. Ah, went the wrong way. It's like, something's not right, something's not right. Get this off, no biggie. Like, we can't glue that on top of that. We go in the opposite direction, silly Carrie. Okay. All right. We're going to use the fold again, but we're going to do it this way. So it's going to be lined up on this side. Let's try again. This time I only want to put, I'm so silly. All right. This is what not to do. Here we go. Not to do. Let's put glue just where it's going to hit this hexagon or this. What is this shape? It kind of looks like a hexagon. I got to get rid of some of this white. All right, let's line her back up again. And we need it to glue alongside here. This part won't get glued onto anything, but that part, tuck that right in there, will get glued onto, sheesh, okay. That was too much. Sorry about that. It is a lot of hats, isn't it? That's because we got a party animal playing around here. Okay, so let's think about all the die cutting we did. Woohoo! Lots of die cut. That's a die cut. I know it's a lot of hats. That's why I was hoping to have them all done before I went live, so that you didn't have to watch me do all this. But unfortunately, I say my motto is family comes first, and when those even adult children call and want to chat with mama, you got to give them that moment. All right. You know, I always feel like if you say, oh, I'm kind of too busy, then I don't want to come back the next time, they hesitate. So we just got to be there for our kiddos. All right. There's another party hat. And let's see if this is dry now. Let's see. I'm like, wait a second. What was I thinking? All right. Perfect. This is right. Now we're going to fold it over, and this one's going to glue to the other side. So let's get glue on that tab. Keeping it all folded nicely. And I want to make sure it stays flat. All right. Now we'll let that dry. All right. Party hat, party, party. You know, we're having a big party. Everybody's got a hat. Everybody's got a hat. We're lucky if the birthday person gets a hat on their head at our house. All right, let me do this one last hat, and then we'll check our mechanism to see how everything is going, because the fun part is putting the stuff on it. Getting all those decorative pieces on. And I want to try, we're testing it here live. We're going to see if we can add a balloon with string on it to this. So we got a monkey holding a balloon. I think that would be fun. So we shall see if we can succeed. All right. That one's not quite glued. See how many ones we have done. Done, 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 done. This one needs to be glued. And this one's done. Okay. Oh, that one needs to be glued. Yeah, we're close. Okay. Now, once again, we're going to have to be... Yeah, it is good to do on the dry. Do not rush it. Okay, so here we're going to slowly push. This is our new one. We want to push it as it opens so it doesn't put all that pressure on our center one. It looks like I had a little bit of stray adhesive. Ooze out of there. There we go. So see all of our, now we got so many moving parts. Isn't that kind of fun? Oh, 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 I'm pushing too hard. This is what you said, Alice. You gotta just don't rush it. Let it dry. I'm gonna stick a little bit more glue in there. Wet it even further. And I'm gonna let it dry more while we finish up those hats. And we'll glue our monkeys too. So we're really gonna give it some drying time. Okay, let's do Mr. Orange and Yellow hat here. There we go. And tap yellow on the top. Oh. Not the glue it, grab it. Grab it. Line that baby up. All right, so we have that one done. Now we gotta do this red one here. And we have a red top for the top. Now it does look like that my kit is missing a couple. Whoa!
Sorry.
That was a loud screech. A couple of the toppers.
Are they not stuck to something?
I looked. It's just two. No, it's just one topper.
What color do you want?
I think it's teal. Teal color, wherever that teal color came from. Thank you. Perfect. Okay. One last party hat here. Let's put the teal one on top of this. So I had most of this stuff cut out before our cruise, and then cruise deadlines were creeping up on me. So this has been sitting in this craft room for bits and pieces everywhere. And I'm like, oh, Laura, we got to finish this one. So she patiently went over every kit that I had cut to match up everything just to make sure every kit had, like, so tedious to redo everything we had already done. She's a saint. Okay. Party hats. Look at all those party hats. Okay, Mr. Monkey, he goes together super, super easy. I did get him started. I already put his face in and his belly on. We just need to add his head. And now that would be him in his upright position. Pretty simple. Now, if we can have him kind of flying or hanging by his tail, we don't have to do the belly part because it could be his backside. So we could just... I love that all of her little animals and critters are super easy. They have a stencil feature in them to put their faces on. And it's cute without having a bunch of gazillion tiny little pieces. So makes it easy peasy to get the look. And then we could just take his body and add it to the side here. And then it looks like he's kind of flying or hanging. Just kind of, I'm just going to put glue on his ear edge right here. And got him stuck there, so he's he could be flying, which is cool. All right, now this hat right here, our bigger hat, this is a Spellbinders die, and it comes with these little separate stripes. And I did go ahead and add them because those are each little separate pieces. And then we have a base. I feel like somebody buying this kit would see all those little weird stripe shapes and like, what? How am I supposed to do that? You're just gonna line the straight edges up and let the curvies go. Kind of like tiger stripes. And then we've got the base. I just really loved this big old party hat. To mix it up a little bit. And a little top on that too. Now this also, in that same birthday set that I have from Spellbinders, this came in, it's a set that, it's a birthday wreath set, so it had a wreath base and then it had all these other add-ons. So it's, I don't even know if it's still available, but I had a lot of party things that I tend to use over and over again. But I just computer generated this where it says, you're one cool party animal. And we're going to use some string. I did bring string to the party here. Let's see, where my string? Now we're going to use some DMC floss. And I'm going to give myself a pretty long piece. Now DMC floss is really nice to be using in some of these cards. Like when we did the banner, I attached the banner with floss. And it worked really nice. It worked really nice. So we're going to try to do the same with our balloon here. That way we can go ahead and give it a little bit of tail and let it, all right, what's the word I'm trying to find? Give it some give so that some of this can pick up slack when it moves and then come back and pull out. So that we need it to have a little bit of movement. So I just grabbed a little piece. And I just wrapped that string around and then did a little glue right there on the end. So now we have, our floss kind of looks a little damaged. All right, well maybe we won't need it all. We probably won't need this big old tail either. I'm gonna let the glue dry and then we can snip that off. So we have our party balloon. And then this is going to be our little signature block. Probably could do a bigger one if we wanted to, but I wanted to have our signature block. Like this could just say, love me, you know, I don't even know. I wanted to be one of the moving parts. So this also comes from Kieran's label set. All right, we have all of our pieces. Now, we did cut an extra one of these, and the reason why is so that we can decorate the sides of this. So let's open it cautiously. I'm going to push in it. And I did get some stray adhesive in here again. So dry. All right. Now where that white showed, because I had that stray adhesive, I could take my Copic or Olo marker and do a little color right there, and it's got it. All of our pieces are moving. All right. So right here on these little sections right here, I can cut just a little piece off and put that on. Let's do that. Let's cut that right. Off one edge. And then stick it on the side there. And then it kind of blends in. And it doesn't look like one big long arm, but it will actually look like those little side arms are just having more movement because they'll draw the attention more. All right. This little playful pop-up is a great pop-up die. Put that straight. All right. Okay, now we'll take the side off the other side, do the same. This side. All right, let's start adding our moving decorative pieces. So I was thinking that our signature block could be on this piece right here. So we could just add some adhesive on our little arm and add that piece there, and it's gonna slide up in. Well, let's let it dry, Kara. Be patient. I'm so impatient when it comes to some of this. Gotta line it up again. Just I'm gonna get this up under here. Pinch it. Oh, I wanna, there we go. Well, it's gonna be level when it's there. All right. Then I want this party hat to be kind of about here when the card is open. All right, maybe here. So we'll add some adhesive. Thank you, Dallas. We'll add our little I don't want to just like push down, and it kind of makes me a little nervous because pushing down I have a tendency to put too much glue on it and then it goes psst, and I don't want it to have too much adhesive on there and not do its moving thing. So I just like get it to dry. I could get another clip. Maybe get under there. Oh. Want it to dry. Let's see, now I gotta line up the glue again. I'm making this look way harder than it truly is, honestly. All right, it's attached now. All right, we just want it to dry. Okay, then on this other side right here, I think I want, oh, maybe we want the flying monkey on the, like he's flying on the, we'll put this guy, this is the guy I want to hold the balloon. So he's gonna go, I'm tearing already. We're holding up. So when it's open, it's not dry right there, so I really gotta watch that. When it's on its lowest open spot, that's when you see very little. And when it closes, you're gonna have more and more tongue showing. So, sheesh. All right, so I wanna get him kind of tilting this way slightly because the balloon is gonna sit over here and it's gonna go down and hide underneath there, and I want it to look like he's holding this balloon. So we're going to dab a little bit of glue here and then kind of get him so when he's opened, he'll rest about right there, and now the balloon will sit here and then it'll come down into his hand. We just got to give it enough string to be able to tuck. And it's kind of a big balloon, so it's gonna have to fit in that section. Whoa. Can't make it go too high because this is a pretty large balloon. It's gotta fit in that hole. So it's gotta be able to tuck in. So let's just go down a little bit. This is when a little glue dot is handy, probably while you're waiting for the glue to, I'm gonna have to use glue dots. So this has got to be able to, oh, maybe if we put it in this other hand, Then when it goes down, he slides around and it will fold in. Poor little monkey. Everything's gotta dry. Everything's gotta dry. A little glue dot would probably be a smarter choice. All right. He's gonna hold that balloon. There we go. Now look at this. Gotta give him plenty of give for this string because it's gotta go down to the bottom. And if this falls off, then it doesn't have the pull that it needs to make that arm move all the way. I really gotta sit and dry, let that dry. All right, let me go back to the original here. So I've got this monkey here that I put the flying one on this side and the other monkey over here. And I just added all of the party hats. But here I thought, okay, no, let's go ahead and make this a balloon. And I know it's going to work. And then this was here is that sentiment here. So we have our sentiment on our balloon. And then we got all these party hats just that are going to be moving. All right. So you can kind of see where we're going. I just need more drying time. More drying time. Let's take this off. Let's take this off. Let's get our center right here really dry. Look, that balloon is going in nicely. See that? It's going in so, so nice. Love it. All right. I just have to be patient. It's just, I'm putting so much glue on and it's not drying. So there's that. There is that. Okay, so the front of the card. This was my inspiration. This is my port of departure where it just had all those cute little birthday hats. That's so true, Dells. You gotta be patient. But I want to mount it. This is a 3x4 card that comes with the paper kit. And I don't want the sentiment to be bigger than 3x4, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut a little tiny bit around the edges off of this so that I end up with a nice little frame. And I'm going to do that by just taking just 1/8 of an inch off each side, and that will just give me a nice little green frame. Now I'm going to evaluate this top and bottom. Like, do we have more space on the top of that, or it looks about the same? So cut a little. Deciding which side to take it off. All right. Very rarely do I use pop-ups because pop-ups dimensional on my dimensional adhesive on my pop-up cards because the pop-up itself is dimensional inside, but I thought it would be fun to not only pop this sentiment, but also pop the 3 party hats that I'm putting over the top to give it a little bit of dimension. So it's just a simple front of the card, but then we get all the motion on the inside. Just got to get that balloon going. All right. Excuse me. So adding dimensionals, I think everybody knows how to do that. We don't need to see me do that, but we're going to add dimensionals. They're going. Then we have these party hats, and I kind of just matched the party hat. A blue one on the blue one, a green and blue one on the green and blue one. If you line it up just right, the whole will line up, and it'll have a dark blue center. And then the green and red one on the green and red one. That just makes a very simple front of the card. And then on the back, where if you really wanted to write a bigger sentiment, and if you wanted to make this into a gift card holder, this is the perfect size that you can add this to the back side, make this into a pocket where it's got a gift card in it if you're a gift card giver, and that will be the back of your card. All right, But I think I just really need to let this center dry. It's got so much, it's terry again. So I gotta let that center do a real good dry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call it quits for tonight. I will post a video of this when it's all done so you can see the final result. But I think this guy right here needs a heck of a lot more dry time. So I'm gonna let it cure overnight and add all of my fun stuff in the morning, and I will post a video of this guy holding the string, because it doesn't have to be much, it could just be loose, a little gap, and then when it all tucks down inside, see, the string will go with him, so he's going in the same direction, so it's not going to require too much string over here with him holding that. But I think it's going to be a fun result with the string getting pulled taut and it looked like he's holding the blue. I think that's going to be a fun thing. And then of course we'll have all of our little party hats everywhere. We'll have a party hat down here. We'll put a party hat on him. Can't put I don't think put a yellow one on him because of the balloon, but this one would sure be cute, right? Anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoy this card. This card is being kitted just like the one we did last week and every other one. So if you're interested in purchasing a card kit like this, then you can go to our website. This one will be on the website next week. Till then. Oh, next Friday we probably won't be going live. It's Good Friday. So you guys have a fabulous Easter, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. TTFN.